Good morning and welcome. Today is January 7th, 2026, and if you're watching this video, you're probably wondering about the Social Security payment that millions of Americans are scheduled to receive on January 14th, just 1 week from today. You may have heard the term Wave 1 floating around online, or perhaps a friend or family member mentioned it. Maybe you're asking yourself, am I in Wave 1? Will I get a bigger check? And if so, how much bigger are we really talking about? I'm here to walk you through everything step by step in plain language. No hype, no panic, just the facts you need to understand what's happening with your Social Security payment this month. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly whether you're part of the January 14th payment group, why your check may be slightly larger than last year, and most importantly, what you need to do, which in most cases is absolutely nothing. So take a deep breath, grab a cup of coffee if you'd like, and let's break this down together. Let's start with the term Wave 1, because it's causing a lot of confusion. Wave 1 is not an official Social Security Administration term. It's a phrase that bloggers, news outlets, and YouTube creators use to describe the first group of people who receive their Social Security payment each month. Here's the simple truth. Social Security does not send out all payments on the same day. Instead, payments go out in waves or batches throughout the month based on a schedule tied to your birth date. So when people say Wave 1, they're referring to the group of recipients who are scheduled to receive their payment on the second Wednesday of the month. This month, that's January 14th. But here's what's important. Being in Wave 1 doesn't mean you're getting more money than someone in Wave 2 or Wave 3. Everyone who receives Social Security retirement or disability benefits got the same cost of living adjustment, or COLA, this year. The size of your check is not determined by when it arrives. It's determined by your work history, your earnings record, and the type of benefit you receive. The only thing Wave 1 tells you is when you'll see your payment, not how much you'll receive. So if you're in Wave 1, congratulations, you'll see your money a little earlier in the month. If you're not, that's perfectly normal too. You'll receive your payment later in January, right on schedule. Now let's talk about who exactly is in this first wave. The January 14th payment date applies to a very specific group of people. To qualify for this date, you must meet both of the following conditions. First, you were born between the 1st and the 10th of any month. It doesn't matter which month or which year, just that your birth date falls between the 1st and the 10th. Second, you started receiving Social Security benefits after May 1997. Both of these must be true. If you started receiving benefits before May 1997, you're on a different schedule entirely, which I'll explain in just a moment. Let me give you some examples to make this crystal clear. Let's say you were born on March 7th, 1958, and you started collecting Social Security in 2020. You meet both conditions, you're in Wave 1. Your payment will arrive on January 14th. Now imagine you were born on February 19th, 1960, and started benefits in 2022. You were born between the 11th and 20th, so you do not qualify for January 14th. You'll receive your payment on the third Wednesday of the month, which is January 21st. Here's another scenario. You were born on April 5th, 1942, and you started receiving benefits back in 1995. Even though your birth date is between the 1st and 10th, you started benefits before May 1997. This means you're paid on a completely different schedule, specifically on the 3rd of every month. Your January payment actually already arrived on January 3rd. Does that make sense? The system is very methodical. It's not random. The Social Security Administration uses your birth date and the year you started benefits to determine your payment date, and that date stays consistent month after month. So if you've been receiving your payment on the second Wednesday for the past year, that pattern will continue. Nothing has changed about the schedule, only the amount may be slightly higher this year due to the cost of living adjustment. Now let's zoom out and look at the full picture, because I want you to understand exactly where you fit into the overall schedule. Social Security sends out payments in 4 main waves each month. Here's how it breaks down for January 2026. The first payment went out on January 3rd. This payment went to anyone who started receiving benefits before May 1997, or to anyone who receives both Social Security and Supplemental Security Income, known as SSI. If you're in this group, your money has already arrived. You were paid at the very beginning of the month. As usual, the second payment arrives on January 14th, and this is the payment everyone is talking about. This goes to people who were born between the 1st and 10th of the month and who started benefits after May 1997. If this is you, your payment will arrive next Tuesday, January 14th. The third payment comes on January 21st. This payment goes to people who were born between the 11th and 20th of the month and who started benefits after May 1997. If you're in this group, your payment will arrive on the third Wednesday, 1 week after Wave 1. The fourth and final payment for the month arrives on January 28th. This goes to people who were born between the 21st and 31st of the month and who started benefits after May 1997. If this applies to you, your payment will arrive on the fourth Wednesday of the month. That's it. 4 payment dates, 4 distinct groups. The system is designed this way to spread out the workload and ensure that tens of millions of payments are processed smoothly and accurately every single month. And here's the reassuring part. This schedule never changes. Once you know your payment date, you can count on it month after month. If you were paid on January 14th this year, you'll be paid on the second Wednesday of every month going forward as long as you continue to meet the eligibility criteria. So take a moment right now and think about your birth date. Think about when you started collecting benefits. That will tell you exactly which wave you're in. Now let's talk about the bigger part of this equation, because I know that's what many of you are most curious about. Yes, your January Social Security check is likely larger than it was in December, but let's set realistic expectations about what bigger actually means. In 2025, Social Security recipients received a 2.5% cost of living adjustment, or COLA. This adjustment is designed to help benefits keep pace with inflation, so your purchasing power doesn't erode over time. Let me show you what a 2.5% increase looks like in real dollars. If your monthly Social Security benefit was $1,500 in 2024, your new benefit in 2025 is approximately $1,537. That's an increase of about $37 per month, or roughly $444 over the course of the year. If your benefit was $2,000 per month, you're now receiving around $2,050, an increase of $50 per month. If your benefit was $3,000, you're now getting about $3,075, a $75 monthly increase. These are helpful increases, but they're not life-changing amounts. The COLA is meant to keep up with rising costs, not to dramatically boost your income. And here's something very important to keep in mind. Your actual take-home amount may be lower than the gross benefit due to deductions. The most common deduction is for Medicare Part B premiums. In 2025, the standard Part B premium is $185 per month. If you're enrolled in Medicare and have your premium automatically deducted from your Social Security check, that $185 comes out before you ever see the money. So even though your gross benefit increased by, say, $50, your net increase, the actual amount deposited into your account, might only be $30 or $40 after the Medicare premium is deducted. This is not Social Security taking money away from you. This is simply how Medicare premiums are collected for most people, automatically through Social Security for convenience. If you want to see the exact breakdown of your payment, including any deductions, you can log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov. There you'll find a detailed statement showing your gross benefit, any deductions, and your net payment amount. So yes, your check is bigger, but it's a modest cost of living increase, not a windfall. Now let's talk about who will not receive a payment on January 14th, because this is where a lot of confusion and worry tends to creep in. If January 14th comes and goes and you don't see a payment, it does not mean something is wrong. It most likely means you're simply on a different schedule. Here are the most common reasons you would not be paid on January 14th. First, your birth date falls outside the 1st through 10th range. If you were born between the 11th and 20th, your payment comes on January 21st. If you were born between the 21st and 31st, your payment comes on January 28th. This is completely normal. Second, you started receiving benefits before May 1997. If you've been receiving Social Security for a long time, since the 1990s or earlier, You're paid on the 3rd of every month, regardless of your birth date. Your January payment already arrived on January 3rd. Third, you receive Supplemental Security Income, or SSI, along with Social Security. If you receive both SSI and Social Security, you're also paid on the 3rd of the month. Again, your payment has already arrived. Fourth, you recently applied for benefits or had a change in your account. If you're a new recipient or recently updated your direct deposit information, there may be a slight delay as the system processes your information. This is rare, but it can happen. If none of these reasons apply to you and you still don't receive your payment when you expect it, here's what to do. Wait 3 business days. Sometimes payments are delayed due to bank processing times, weekends, or holidays. If 3 business days pass and you still haven't received your payment, then it's time to contact the Social Security Administration. You can call them at 1-800-772-1213, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. local time. But in the vast majority of cases, if you don't see a payment on January 14th, it's simply because you're scheduled for a different date. Check the schedule I outlined earlier, and you'll know exactly when to expect your money. Let's take a moment to clear up some of the myths and misinformation that tend to circulate around Social Security payment dates. First, there's a widespread myth that if you're in Wave 1, you're getting more money than people in Wave 2 or Wave 3. This is false. Everyone received the same percentage COLA increase based on their benefit amount. The wave you're in only determines when you get paid, not how much. Second, some people believe you need to call Social Security or take action to get the bigger payment. This is also false. The COLA increase is automatic. You don't need to apply for it, call anyone, or do anything. If you're eligible, the increase is already built into your January payment. Third, there's a misconception that if you don't get paid on January 14th, something is wrong with your account. Not true. As I explained, most people who don't receive payment on January 14th are simply on a different schedule. Check your birth date and the year you started benefits, and you'll know your correct payment date. Fourth, you may have heard that Social Security is sending out bonus payments or stimulus checks in January. There is no bonus. There is no stimulus. What you're receiving is your regular monthly benefit, adjusted for the 2.5% COLA. Any email, text message, or social media post claiming you're owed extra money is likely a scam. And that brings me to an important warning. Be very cautious of scams. Scammers know that people are watching for their Social Security payments, and they take advantage of that. If you receive a phone call, email, or text claiming to be from Social Security and asking for your personal information, do not respond. The Social Security Administration will never call you out of the blue and ask for your Social Security number, bank account, or passwords. If you're unsure whether a communication is legitimate, hang up or delete the message and call Social Security directly at the number I mentioned earlier, 1-800-772-1213. Stay alert. Stay informed. And don't let misinformation cause you unnecessary stress. Let's talk about what to do if your expected payment date comes and goes and you still don't see your money. First, check your payment schedule one more time. Make absolutely sure you know which wave you're supposed to be in. Look at your birth date. Think about when you started receiving benefits. Confirm that January 14th, or whichever date applies to you, is actually your correct payment date. Second, check your bank account carefully. Sometimes payments post under slightly different names or descriptions than you expect. Look for deposits from SSA, Social Security, or Treasury. It may not always appear exactly as you remember it from previous months. Third, wait 3 business days. Banks sometimes take a day or two to process deposits, especially if there's a weekend or holiday involved. Give it a little time before you assume something has gone wrong. If 3 business days pass and there's still no payment, then it's time to contact Social Security. Call 1-800-772-1213. Have your Social Security number ready and be prepared to verify your identity. The representative will be able to look up your payment history and tell you what's happening. In most cases, the issue is something simple, a bank routing error, a change in account information that wasn't updated, or a processing delay. The Social Security Administration can look up your record and tell you exactly what's going on. But here's the bottom line. The vast majority of payments arrive exactly when they're supposed to. Social Security processes tens of millions of payments every month with remarkable accuracy. If you're on the right schedule and your account information is up to date, your payment will arrive. So try not to worry, stay calm, and know that help is available if you need it. All right, let's bring this all together. If you were born between the 1st and 10th of the month and started receiving Social Security benefits after May 1997, you're in Wave 1. Your payment will arrive on January 14th, 1 week from today. If you were born later in the month, your payment will come on January 21st or January 28th, depending on your birth date. If you've been receiving benefits since before May 1997, your payment already arrived on January 3rd. Your check is slightly larger this year due to the 2.5% cost of living adjustment. That increase is automatic. You don't need to do anything to receive it. If Medicare Part B premiums are deducted from your check, your net increase may be smaller than the gross COLA amount. That's normal. And most importantly, you are not alone. Millions of Americans are navigating this same system, asking the same questions and looking for the same clarity. That's why I make these videos, to give you the facts without the hype, so you can feel confident and informed. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment and leave a comment below. Let me know, do you think you're in Wave 1? Are you expecting your payment on January 14th? And if you've already received your payment on the 3rd, let us know how the new amount compares to last year. This community is full of people just like you, and sometimes it helps just to know that others are going through the same experience. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It helps more seniors find this information. And if you want to stay updated on Social Security news, payment schedules, and changes that might affect your benefits, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I post videos like this regularly, and I want to make sure you never miss an update. Thank you so much for watching. Take a deep breath. You've got this. Your payment is on the way, right on schedule. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.